is an interesting one.
Okay. Do we need a warning?
No, you don't need a warning. But she certainly takes no prisoners. And you get a little flavour here as it starts.
Okay, go on.
Dear Father Simon and the Spares.
Oh! Boom! Here come the pain.
You know what? That's fine. I'm happy with that.
Is it? I don't think so.
If you feel that
She's
way,
not
Katie.
holding out much of
Not
prospect
forgiven.
of getting any forgiveness at all. Before I start, I would just like to set the record straight. I know I am a terrible person, and I just hope that this confession doesn't lead to extreme changes in my life. Picture the scene, says Katie, a wet, grey 1990 Nottingham afternoon in an anonymous college, where 3 friends were hanging out and nonchalantly chatting away. These 3 particular friends happened to be me, ugly and clever, Ellen, pretty and stupid, and Ben, muscular and sharp-witted.
Ugh.
Okay?
Taken against Ben already.
Instant judgments made. We had made the tough and long travel through primary school into secondary school, now round the bend into college life, still being best chums throughout. Our parents and peers would say we were inseparable, and they were probably right. We were, if I speak for ourselves, the definition of good friendship. Anyhow, on this dull and dreary afternoon, where we sat around our favourite table playing cards, Ben stood up and left to go to the bathroom. Can I tell you something? Said Ellen, looking excited. Can I tell you something? What? I replied. I think I'm in love with Ben, she said. I think I have been for years. But do you think he likes me back? Because I've been getting all these signals from him, but I don't want to ruin our friendship, you know? Well, Father Simon, to say I was shocked to my very core was an understatement. The idea of my 2 best friends together was mind-boggling. Yes, I had noticed a little bit of strange behaviour between the 2, but we were always weird people in that way. My mind started to, well, what happens if they break up or go and leave me on my own? All these horrible nightmarish thoughts were racing through my head so fast that all I could say was, oh, I see. A couple of days passed with nothing more said about the conversation. But when me and Ben were walking home through the park one day, I suddenly popped the question with the force only seen in those cheesy American crime dramas. Do you fancy Ellen? I said.
What crime dramas are you watching? No one ever says that in mine.
Cheesy ones.
Oh, right.
Do you fancy Ellen? Ben suddenly stopped, open-mouthed, and stammered, how did you know?
Oh.
Is it really that obvious?
Ugh.
It's just that I like her so much. Well, I was astounded. Interesting audible reaction.
This is so lovely.
Sweet and bless, sweet and bless.
Is it really? Carry on, Ben.
I was astounded. I hadn't seen this coming at all, and all of a sudden a flood of images came to mind of me, alone, and those 2 snogging. In an air of desperation, I threw caution to the wind and replied, yes, it is very obvious. Very obvious. I only bring it up because Ellen has started to notice, and she doesn't have a good way of telling you that she is...
No.
That she is not interested.
Correct.
And if you carry on, she might have to punch you in the face.
Correct. Well done.
I'm very sorry to tell you. Oh, he sighed. That's okay, I suppose. With an expression on his face which you would think you would only get if your puppy, kitten and rabbit had all met their maker at the same time. Ben quickly stopped showing any interest in Ellen, and as the weeks went on, Ellen gloomily presumed that her one true love had lost interest in her, and slowly the situation was forgotten about. This is where my real confession comes into play. The real reason why I didn't want my 2 besties to get together was not because I was afraid of our friendship group getting ripped apart. Much worse than that, Father Simon. Basically, I fancied the pants off Ben.
Oh,
and no one, especially pretty Ellen, was going to take him away from me. I lied and manipulated to get my own way, and I would do it again in a heartbeat. What makes this even worse is that me and Ben are now happily married. We have a child. And 28 years later, he still has no idea that I stopped him from receiving his true love all those years ago. Plus, I mean, it's bad. This is bad, and it's a wash already on the text. Not forgiven. I haven't even asked yet. Not forgiven. Not forgiven. Not forgiven. Ellen is still single and was forced to be my maid of honour and watch me and her apparent soulmate walk down the aisle 20 years ago this weekend. Happy anniversary, sweetheart.
Yeah.
If you could see the look on Bobby's face. In fact, I have to tell you, when this confession was sent to me by producer Phil, it said at the top, I want to know what Bobby says about this one. Okay, we're about to find out. Katie says, I beg for your penitence, but expect none, as I am perfectly happy with the man I love and who loves me. Now I forced him to. And then says, and I would encourage anyone to do the same as me.
Oh, right, okay.
At this point, Katie's just thinking, you know what?
Yeah, throw it all in.
I stand in no chance at all of getting any. And I have to say, in terms of sheer bald cheek and throwing all caution to the wind, this absolutely takes the biscuit. Katie would like, well, I don't know whether she cares, but anyway, Bobby with her serious face on says this.
Ask Matt first.
Ugh.
Okay.
I'm trying to construct a sentence.
Okay. Well, this is good. Let's.
For radio.
I get
Matt.
the feeling that most people are going to come out against Katie. So here's going to be the defence of Katie. Number one, Ben with his muscles and his sharp mind, fooling no one. Ben, we all know, dead inside. Whereas the friend, really good looking, using her boom shakalak wiles, all that kind of stuff. What's wrong with Katie using her mind? Yeah, think about it. Correct. So for that reason, I am gonna forgive, just because of Ben with his.
Matt, they wanted to get together.
Yeah,
she stopped them. Well, then said,
"Yeah, but
be our maid of honour."
Maybe love would have found a way, but it didn't, did it? No. So turns out the other two were destined for each other. Unlucky, Ben. So yeah, forgiven.
So now, Bobby, I don't know if Bobby's composed herself.
I have. I have very little to say, obviously, Katie. I mean, I didn't care you called me a spare. I can live with that. That's fine. That's all right. However...
It's not really.
Well, no, it is. It really. That's not a bother.
No.
What is a bother is the fact that you've been second choice for 22 years.
Ooh,
burn!
Yeah.
Good luck with
Second
that.
choice, Katie. That's how she's known.
Second choice, Katie. And, he loves you. But he's always pining after her, and you're still friends. Every time he sees
that
her,
hollow look behind his eyes.
Yeah, that's Ellen. His love for Ellen. So good luck with that, Katie. Hope that works out for you.
Put that in your pipe.